Hello, everyone. My name is Ajala O'Berry, hyphenated Leonard. I go by AJ for short. I actually live in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, the Central Time Zone. My current occupation is a sterile processing technician. I have been in the field for about 4 years. I went from a small hospital into a large hospital and back to a small hospital. I enjoy everything that I do. I have been in healthcare for a little over 6 years, but got into sterile processing 4 years ago. So, what inspired me to pursue this line of work is I think it was the curiosity. I used to do Central Supply for about 2.5 years, and I wanted to find out what the next step of incorporating Central Supply with autoclave. I found a small autoclave, a desk autoclave in my Central Supply unit, and I started playing with it, and I was like, I wonder what this does. And I looked it up and figured out that, you can sterilize like dental equipment and small things like that in the autoclave. So from there, my curiosity grew, and I Googled what I would need a background in order to get that job. And it said, if you have Central Supply experience, which is typically materials distribution, you can roll into sterile processing. Even though once I got the job, I figured out the two don't really necessarily coincide unless you're picking case cards. It's a completely different ballpark. There's a lot to learn in sterile processing. Two fun facts about me. Well, I love any kind of Law and Order or Grey's Anatomy, surgical hype kind of shows. Those are my thing. I also have a 13-year-old son who has Asperger's, and he is high functioning on the spectrum. So I do a lot of work with him, and I have done work with other kids in his classroom. I volunteer on the side to help other moms to kind of understand what ASD is like and how to help diagnose and how to help kind of get your kids, basically kind of helping them to get into the process of understanding how to handle your kids that have ASD. I love to cook. I can cook just about anything. I want to say one of my favorite meals to cook is probably Thanksgiving food, which I'm really good at. I can make soup from scratch. I have a dog and a cat. I have a pit bull terrier. His name is Gage, and I have an English, I think it's some sort of an English cat, but his name is Kanan. They are best of friends. We call them, their nicknames are Garfield and Odie. So, if money were no object, where would I travel? I would travel to Germany because I'm bilingual in German. I spoke German for about 8.5 years of my life. It was a secondary language, first in class. So I learned the grammar for it, the pronunciation, the verbiage. We had English class, but it was German class. So definitely would love to travel to Germany because I feel like my language would just be triggered all over again. Something I learned that surprised me about the role and responsibility about being a surgical tech. One thing that really surprised me is that with the surgical technology degree, you could do so many different things. You don't have to just settle for general surgery. I think once I first heard about becoming a surgical tech, I think I automatically assumed you had to just do general surgery. Well, you can do labor and delivery, you can specialize in GYN, you can specialize in just so many different things. And if the career field doesn't work out, you can still continue on with sterile processing. And I love that. Sterile processing is probably the most favorite job I've had in 15 years of being in customer service. I love this job. I am so excited to be in the program. It has been very satisfactory to me so far. I also just enjoy being able to help patients from a different standpoint. So that's a little bit about me. Hopefully you enjoy the clip. And if you have any questions, I'm always available to answer. And I cannot wait to continue on into the introduction into surgical services. Thank you so much.